Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. For the day we are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, because you know, sometimes people be absolutely horrendous and they're the only ones in the room that don't see it. So if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% with your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It applies it automatically and helps out the channel. Am I the a-hole for messaging my ex's mom about his mental health after he took his life? 2 months ago, my ex took his life. We had been broken up since November, 9 months before he passed. I haven't had the best track record with his family. I was occasionally friends with his younger sister, and when we all lived together last year, but I think since she's twisted some things, cause a few months after we broke up I needed a distraction, and I started talking to people online and trying to distance myself from him. We broke up over a fight in which I triggered some of his deeply rooted early childhood traumas, and it ultimately led to him feeling that he would be able to trust that I wouldn't trigger something like that again. He had his friends, and initially I was friends with his sister, who I think was just being a double agent, kind of, trying to get intel on how I'm a bad person, I guess? I have no idea what was said to the family around this time, but I got unfollowed, and our mutual friends all jumped to sides really quick, even though him and I were on good terms. 3 months later, I moved out. We were still sleeping in the same bed, and had agreed to ease our way out of the relationship. I moved to my flat, and he moved back home with his family in a different province. I didn't see him for a while, which I thought was good, so that we could get distance. We tried zero contact, but he messaged me saying that he still wanted to be in my life. To be honest, I never stopped loving him. I just was hesitant because I didn't want to get my hopes up and get hurt. Eventually, I went back home, same province as him, and I was texting him on his birthday until he fetched me for a joyride. We drove around for a while and caught up, until we got stopped and I played a little joke by hiding his glasses, and he started trying to find it in my pockets and got a little touchy. Eventually, we ended up kissing, and then I burst out crying. Everything stopped, and I basically explained that I still love him, and that I was sorry for everything that happened. He just hugged me and let me cry it out. He said that he felt the same, but didn't want to complicate things, so he's not gonna say the same words. We both went back to the province we lived in, and started seeing each other every few weeks. The one day I asked him what we were doing, and he said we were just having fun, and that he didn't have intentions of getting back together. So I started trying to distance myself again. Every time I saw him afterwards, I tried putting up some more barriers. And the last time I saw him, he seemed distant too. But I thought we were just moving to a more platonic point. The following week, I got a message from him saying how he didn't want to see me anymore, and that he wishes me the best, but I never understood him. I was really hurt by this, and sent him a message explaining how I was confused, and how I have never been able to love him right. A week later, I got a message from an old high school friend who basically said, "I'm really sorry to hear about your ex." I was super confused, so I said, "What do you mean?" And she phoned me and told me that he passed. I was completely speechless. I tried messaging some mutual friends to ask if they knew anything and to send my condolences. They either ignored me or told me to speak to his sister. I sent his sister my condolences, and she read my messages without responding, so I messaged his mom also to offer my condolences and let her know that I'm available if she needs anything. At no point did I ask for any information about what had happened from them. I was further ignored and started searching for possible car accidents or pedestrian fatalities in his area. My search ran dry. I phoned my best friend back home, also a mutual friend, and asked if she knew anything. She went and basically begged the mutuals to give her information and relay it to me. When acquiring the information, she was also told that the family wants to tell me themselves, so they asked everyone to not tell me any information. My friend told me that he took his life, and the date was confirmed on a Facebook post from his mom. This was further confirmed by a mutual friend when I asked about the situation. The family wanted to keep the news from me and didn't have any intention of telling me anything. I wanted to see the family in person to share in their grief and just be able to try and connect with a part of him. I had no intentions to ask questions about what happened, as I still to this day only know that he took his life and nothing else. I messaged his mom and his sister asking if there was any way I could come see them 3 days after his passing. In my message, I included that I understand that if they are not comfortable with it, that I could understand. I then got messaged by someone that is considered close enough to my ex, saying that I am not to contact the family again or any of my ex's close friends. My ex may have forgiven me, but they do not forgive me for the fight. So I stopped contacting the family or any of his friends. The family had a private funeral, so I spoke to the mutuals and arranged a little gathering to honor his memory. Today, I was feeling especially sad, so I went to go read his mom's blog to see how the family was doing. His mom posted a blog openly expressing that he took his life, and that she didn't see any signs. They were, however, aware of his depression. I decided to write his mom a message and tried to explain some of his feelings to her, hopefully bringing her some insight regarding that it didn't matter if anything was changed over the past months or years. The outcome would have been the same. I told her some of the things that he had shared with me regarding his previous attempt. I also expressed my love for him and apologized for not alerting the family to the extent of his mental illness sooner. I explained that I've been trying to make a drive of all of the photos I had over years, and explained that I will try and send it to her in the new year. I figured that if she would publicly post about how he passed away, maybe she would be open to hearing about what he was facing. I was then blocked, and his sister sent me a message that said, "Hey, A, I would just like you to please understand that the message you sent my mom was really inappropriate and disrespectful to both her and ex. This is why we asked you not to talk to her. The fact that he was depressed wasn't a secret. You telling her all of that stuff isn't beneficial to anyone. It was actually more harmful than anything. Ex's story isn't that he was depressed. There is and was more to him than just that. Stop making that his story. If you need to get things off of your chest, talk to a therapist, not my mom. She was really upset at the message you sent her. Please, leave my family alone. This isn't about you and your feelings. Confine it in the people close to you, not him." My intention was really not to hurt anyone. I was genuinely trying to just connect and give the family some more information. I really love X to this day, and he is the only person I have ever truly loved in a romantic way. His family didn't like me even before we started dating, and now I suppose that they hate me. Maybe I am being insensitive, but it's not my intention. I just want to do something good. I just feel like every time I do, I just make it worse. I'd appreciate insight from people that aren't involved, because I really feel alone, and this and my friends always chose my side. But I just feel like they're doing it to comfort me, and I just want honesty. Am I the a-hole for sending his mom insight into his thoughts and feelings? TLDR, my ex's family hates me, and we still stayed in contact beyond the breakup. He took his life and tried to contact the family, and they wanted nothing to do with me. 2 months passed, and I saw a blog by his mom, so I sent her a message giving her insight into his thoughts and feelings over the past few years. My intentions were good. I got blocked and asked to stop contacting the family. Okay, so let me see this. Family's going through grieving the loss of somebody that took their own life, and for some reason you feel like bringing up this information is going to make things better, but most likely it's information they were already aware of to a degree, so bringing it up again is not going to make anything better. They ask you to stop contacting them, and for some reason you just really, really want to tell them this stuff that they already know. What part of leave them alone exactly did you not get? I slept with my girlfriend's younger sister during a weekend trip with her family. I, 26M, have been dating my girlfriend for about 5 years now. We've had our ups and downs, but overall we've had a really good relationship. I get along with her whole family. Her younger sister, 22, and I have always had this brother-sister type relationship. We both play tennis, so sometimes her and I will go play together when we are visiting her family. This past weekend, my girlfriend, her family, and I were up at their cottage, and her sister asked me to go play some tennis while the rest hung out at the cottage prepping for dinner. While we were playing, it got pretty competitive. We were bantering back and forth. It was weird because I felt very flirty, and I got that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Once we got back to the cottage, no one was there, so we decided to go for a dip to cool off a bit before getting ready for dinner. While we were in the lake, she kept holding on to me in the water because she was cold, which ended up exciting me, if you know what I mean. I felt super embarrassed and was trying so hard to hide it, but she was swimming all over me and ended up feeling it with her leg. Then giggled and I just apologized. I didn't know what to say. At this point, I was feeling incredibly confused and a little uncomfortable. I told her I was going back inside to get ready for dinner. Everyone was still out, so it was just the two of us in the cottage still. My girlfriend and her sister's rooms are separated by a shared bathroom. So when I went to a shower, I locked the door going to her room so she wouldn't walk in or something. Surely enough, once I get into the shower, I see the door to my girlfriend's room open. I'm not entirely sure if it's my girlfriend or not, so I don't react right away. Then, through the steamy glass, I see her sister taking off a towel and she starts walking into the shower with me. I should have left right away, but I didn't, and well, you can probably guess what happens next. This is by far the worst thing that I have done in my life. I gave up on 5 years of commitment for some immediate pleasure. Her sister said she won't say a word about it, but honestly, I can't keep this to myself. This will completely ruin her and her sister's relationship, though, and would completely destroy my girlfriend. As hard as it might be, I feel like I need to tell my girlfriend about this and break up with her. I don't think she'll forgive me for this, and I should distance myself from her too. Yeah, you're really thinking with the wrong head, aren't you? Here's a little bit of a pro tip. Next time, use the one that's on your shoulders, dingus. So way to go messing up 5 years for, 5 minutes of fun times and everything? Yeah, way to go. Great job on that one. You're gonna have a wonderful time having that guilt eat you from the inside out. One thing I can definitely tell you for sure is that, if you're the one to admit to her that you messed up like this, it will be a million times less bad than if she finds out on her own. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my daughter's university because of the degree she wants to do? So I, 55M, and my wife, 53F, have 3 children, 24M, 22F, 17F. My eldest child has a job while the middle is in university and the younger is in her final year of high school. Because my daughter will be going to university soon, we had to sit down about what she was going to do. Up until this point, I left my wife to discuss this with my daughter because she's better with these things and closer to my daughter. Anyways, the issue came up when my daughter said that she was intending on doing a degree in fine arts and design. I was surprised, but I let her talk her piece. She told me about her love for art and animation, and she would love to turn her passion into a career. After she said everything she wanted to say, I asked her to elaborate on her finer details, and I could see that she wasn't thinking about what she would do after university. I told her that this is a terrible idea, and she should rethink what she wants to do, and left the table assuming my wife would talk her into something more reasonable. Fast forward a month, and we are back having the same conversation again. This time, she was more certain than ever about doing her degree in fine arts. I was a bit frustrated because I was expecting my wife to talk her out of it, but my wife was supporting her and trying to convince me about the pros to it. I could see that I was fighting a losing battle, so I flat out told them that I would not pay for university if she would just waste my money. At this, both got very mad, pointing out how I had paid for my previous children without question. My son did mechanical engineering and my daughter does accounting. I point out that I never had to worry about them finding a job, and that we are not in a first world country like the people in Europe and North America. There is no market for artists where we live, and the unemployment rate is already ridiculously high. I told her that I don't care what she does, as long as it will lead to employment, and left. My daughter told her siblings, and while my son agrees with me, my eldest daughter says that I should allow her the chance to do what she loves, and now it looks like I have favoritism. So, am I the a-hole, and what do I do here? People get laid off in jobs all the time. It doesn't matter what type of profession they have. If somebody has a passion for something, then even if that doesn't result in a job regarding animation, that still does mean that those good credentials can be used towards other jobs. It doesn't have to be explicitly for animation or something like that. Plus, that getting a skill honed and actually made good. I'm trying to think of the actual word, like honing your skills, stuff like that, can lead to a lot of good things down the road. It's more of a long-term thought process for you, not just, I need to get a job the absolute second I'm out of school. I was looking in the comments for some of the stuff, and people are saying that fine art degrees are looked for in the corporate world, and they can be stuff regarding graphic designs, logos, packages, websites designs. It's not just explicitly making cartoons like I'm thinking that her father thinks it is. Am I the a-hole for setting boundaries and protecting my children's peace? Context: I, 28F, and my husband, 29M, have raised my niece, 19F, and nephew, 21M, from ages 9 and 11. This was due to bad choices of their parents. During this time, we were also having 4 children of our own. My niece recently had her second baby. For her first baby, I was in the room with her and supported her throughout afterwards. This time around, she wanted her boyfriend's mom there, which I was perfectly fine with. I have a chronic illness, and I really am not a fan of hospitals. She made a promise to my children that as soon as she was home, she would call us because she wanted them to meet the baby first. The day she came home, I texted her and asked her to let me know when she was ready for us because I didn't want to overwhelm her. And she texted back that she would let me know, but then ghosted me for the rest of the day. I didn't follow up again because I didn't want to overwhelm her. The entire day, my children were asking when we were going to meet the baby. My oldest son, 7M, cried because he was upset when he realized that night that we weren't meeting the baby. My children love my niece like her older sister, so this really hurt them. The next day, she texts asking if we could come over, but we had ball practice until late and couldn't miss it. I asked about the following day, and she said that it was fine. The following day came, and she texted asking if we could come another day because she was going to visit her dad so that he can see the baby. At this point, I was upset because I had already told my children that we were going to see the baby, and I knew how this conversation was going to go. I also found out that day that she came home that she had her entire boyfriend's family at her house, and even a handful of friends, but she couldn't send a simple, maybe not today text. I told her just to let us know when the hype was gone and we would come and visit. Obviously, she didn't take that well and got upset at me. Things were said on both parts, and now it's been a month and I haven't gotten to her. She snuck over to my house while my husband and I were at work so that my children could meet the baby, but couldn't even let me know that she was doing that. My mom babysits at the house, which this part may sound petty or selfish, but I wanted to see that moment. I wanted to see the joy on my children's faces. My mom said I'm being petty and I need to make up with her, but I feel as if I do this pattern of disrespect is going to continue. My mom is obviously siding with my niece because she doesn't like to make waves and thinks I'll give in soon. The thing is, my niece says that she loves and respects us, but her actions are completely opposite. This is not the first time that something like this has happened. So, am I the a-hole for not being okay with this behavior? You know, if maybe somebody feels that they need to sneak over to your house in order to show everybody but you, the baby, I feel like maybe the relationship between you two is something that is not really being brought into the light on this scenario. Because nobody does that just for shits and giggles. Usually there's a reasoning behind doing that. Am I the a-hole for telling my fiance's parents I won't let them see any future children if they don't honor their agreement? My fiance 31M and I 29F have been together for about 4 years and got engaged 9 months ago. The wedding is set for May of next year. When we had been dating for about 2 years, my fiance's parents let us know that they would provide the down payment on our first home. I thought this was an awesome gift until 4 months after we got engaged. They let us know that they want a prenup for the down payment gift. They told me that they would provide up to $200,000, which would buy about a $1 million home, which is in Vancouver is a starter home. Half is a gift for their son and half is a gift to me, but only in $10,000 a year increments. After 10 years, if we divorce, I would get my full half of the down payment, but if we don't make it 10 years, then I need to pay back part of it. I found it insulting as it showed that they don't expect us to last that long. I had lots of fights with my fiance at that time because he found it fair and think that there is nothing wrong with his parents putting conditions on their gift. To me, it was no longer a gift, but a way to control me, and we argued about it a lot. They said I needed my lawyer to review it, and I hired one who told me I should request to change it, so if the house sold for less than what we bought it for, then they cannot expect the entire amount back. His parents agreed to the change, but in the end, I didn't want to sign. And my fiance told me that it would mean that we would need to save for the down payment ourselves. His family is rich. To me, they're just playing games to screw with me. I knew that houses were expensive in Vancouver after some research. I realized we might never own a home without their down payment gift. I make $78,000 and my fiance makes $105,000 before taxes a year, but it would take us nearly a decade to save the amount that his parents would just give us. The rental market is really expensive and I've had to move nearly every year just to get a better rent price, and I don't want to do that with kids. Plus, I really want a dog and I only don't have one because most landlords won't accept pets. I went back to my fiance and told him I want the down payment gift and will sign the prenup. His parents said that they don't want to bring this option back, and since we agreed to save for our own down payment, it's our only option now. I was pissed and called his mom to tell her because she is okay with our children being in rentals and moving all of the time to lord it over to me, and I can't afford to buy a house otherwise. I'm letting see our kids. His mom told my fiance, who argued with me, that it's fair they don't want to bring it up since I rejected their offer and I'm being ungrateful. I feel like he will always be on his parents' side, and we have a massive argument over this. He said he would bring any of our children to visit his parents, which made me not want to have kids with him. I feel like it's unfair that they won't sign a prenup with me just because I said I wouldn't only 2 months ago. So you mean to tell me that you wouldn't want some kind of security when you're about to give somebody, like, 200 grand? You wouldn't want some kind of insurance to make sure that that money goes towards something that's actually used? Oh yeah, and way to go using your kids that don't exist yet as some kind of leverage. Yeah, Great one, ma'am. That'll get them to fork over the money. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Maybe check out the playlist of the end card too if you want to see more of these right now. So I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!